You are now tuned into Pearls of Wisdom. Real issues, real people, and real solutions to empower and encourage people to overcome and follow their dreams. Now introducing your host, DuJuan and Jackie Boyd, and co-host Crystal Usher.
Hello, welcome. Wait, you ain't do it right. Happy Friday!
They looking at me and Brad like we get ready to do something. We're not getting ready.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Pearls of Wisdom. Tonight's a special edition. As you can see, we're going to talk about marriage, intimacy, and them in-laws. I am Crystal Usher. I have here DuJuan and Jackie Boyd.
Hello, hello.
And to my right-hand man, my husband, Bradford Usher. Woo! Come on.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. This is going to be a good show. We'll drop some gems for y'all.
Yeah.
You know, and some good keys. So hopefully y'all share this. And yeah. Let's get into it.
And comment, like, and share. That's right.
I think I lost it.
Okay.
Shoot.
What we got? DuJuan and Jackie Boyd.
He lost it. Well, let's talk about marriage. What does it take to make it last?
Marriage?
Yeah.
It takes a whole lot.
Ooh.
What you talking about a whole lot? People don't understand what that mean, baby. So what you talking about?
Well,
Grandma always got to go though.
Okay, Grandma got to go.
Yeah, we need Jackie. We need Jackie Boyd.
I need you to get out of character.
Okay, she's back.
So what do we? What do you have to say, Bradford?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would say people probably don't realize going into a marriage is, I guess they expect the relationship to be easier or get easier because you're married, you know. And I always tell people when they do ask, first thing I tell them, like, marriage is hard. It's not easy. It's you have to put in work, and that's probably what makes it hard. It's because it's a 24/7 day job that you don't take a break from. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's true.
I mean, just because you say marriage is hard, it's hard. It doesn't mean it's hard being married. It's just, to have a good marriage, you have to put in work. You can't it's not love itself is not going to make your marriage great or make you guys always happy. You know, it's like life. You're going to have your ups and downs within your marriage. So you have to put in work. It takes work. It doesn't just...
I agree.
Anything worth having, even if it's not marriage, you got to fight for it.
Yeah.
It's a fight, you know, because the minute you stop fighting, there's a man or a woman trying to join the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very true.
Meaning that for some people, they just have a sixth sense of, well, she ain't being, her needs are not being met at home.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Men have a sixth sense of that. Women have a sixth sense of that. Mm-hmm. So I can approach through this angle and slither in like a snake, and next thing you know, you done got caught up in adultery and don't realize it.
Yeah.
Run.
So how do you keep those gates locked to where men or women can't penetrate those gates?
You know, I would say you would have to really have communication within the two. Find how to love each other, spark that fire back into each other. You know, make sure that you're having relations with each other on a daily basis, taking care of each other. You get where I'm going? All right.
I agree with that. Making sure your spouse's needs are met, and then if you feel a certain way in an area of your marriage, if you feel neglected, if you feel like things are a little off, then speak up and say something. Don't just, let time go by and let days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, and you guys aren't communicating that.
It's building up.
Yeah.
And it's just building.
It builds up.
Because then you start to get resentful. Then you guys are it's complete disconnect. And that's opening up the gateway for somebody, that snake, to come slither on in.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I will say that that's what makes communication very important. Because if y'all are having issues, whatever the issues is, you have to communicate that. You gotta be, and sometimes men, we can be prideful and not really want to speak, or we let it build up. I know I do that sometimes. I'm guilty of that with us. Sometimes I let it fester a little bit before I get it off my chest. So, but she'll get it out of me, try to get it out before even, lets it get there. She's a communicator. She likes to really.
Honestly, I think here's just my personal opinion behind that. I think a lot of men and women hold those emotions, thoughts, and expressions inside in thought that I don't want to hurt my spouse if I tell them how I really feel.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That's very true. We can love so hard to a fault to where we don't really express how we really feel. Like, are you okay? No, I ain't okay.
Yeah.
Right? But do you say that?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm good.
Yep.
No, but that's okay, because you should be paying attention to your mate to a certain point. How he moves or how she moves, you be like, wait a minute, something's off. The atmosphere done shifted because you out of line right now. We don't talk about, I'll give you your space. I will give you your space. Okay, I will come back to you when, we're both cool. So regardless of everything being said or being done, give that person that time and space so that they can get their, their moment together or their words together before you get that angry person that you don't want to see. So,
and I agree with that. 'Cause that's something I've been working on, because a lot of, like he said, I'm a communicator. So when I can always tell when something's wrong, when he's off, because I've been with him a very long time, and I'm like, what's wrong? Something happened. What's wrong? He's like, no, I'm cool. What's wrong? No, I'm cool. And me, I have to learn, give him his space. He's not ready to talk about it right now. Because me, I'll keep, I want to know, something's wrong with you. I can tell something's wrong with you.
And that makes it worse. Yeah. Now you're forcing me.
Yes.
To not even, you don't give me time enough to kind of process this thing.
Yeah. I'm just processing.
Yes.
Yeah,
You should.
Yeah. And that's how I am, because I just want to. I want to help. I want to. Let's talk about it right now. And so I have learned, and I'm still learning. Let him process, because he'll be like, hold on, I need to
let
process.
Me think.
Yeah, let me process, because I can be very overbearing, and I know I can. Yeah. Dang, sir.
I'm speaking for my boy over here. I got your back, dude.
Right there. I forgot my bell was sitting there. My accessory. Thank you. But no, so I am learning to back off, because I'm even like that with our children, because I want to know what's wrong. If you're hurting, tell me like what's wrong. And he's just like, just give him some space. Like, let her go to her room and just, I'm like, okay, you know what, I am. Let me just back off.
And also,
and come back later.
Men also do that in protection of the spouse.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes I'm going to carry that weight. I don't even want to put it on you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to carry it and I'm going to deal with it. Right? But if you keep forcing it out of me, okay, here it goes.
And he does that too.
And now, because now we know, because now you're going to get emotionally destroyed.
Yep, you're going to crumble.
You're going to crumble.
Under the pressure.
And now I got to put you back together.
Yeah.
Which adds more stress to my life. That's why
you know what I'm saying?
That's
why I wasn't going to tell you in the first place.
That's the sole purpose. A lot of times, I'm going to tell this, I'm going to admit this. As husbands, I can speak for all husbands when I say this. A lot of times when we omit things from y'all, it's really to protect y'all from that emotion.
Yes.
Because we like, she ain't gonna be able to handle this news, so I'll just keep it quiet. We'll deal with it and it'll be cool. You know, but then y'all won't know. Then you be devastated. Yep. Then you mad because we didn't tell.
Didn't tell you.
And then you're like, I just can't believe you didn't tell me. You know, I'm just like, this is why.
This is the exact reason why I did not tell you.
And it's fine. You have to understand it's gonna be fine. You know, so sometimes
going downstairs.
We gotta talk y'all off the cliff too. You know,
true.
Because y'all can. Y'all get a little emotional about things. But
a little.
Here we go.
You been nice over there, dude.
We can be extreme sometimes.
Yes.
At times?
Yeah, at times.
90%?
Yeah, she's not bad. She's not that bad.
Yeah, thank you, husband.
Yeah. She's not. She's not like.
Came a long way.
She's not a pistol starter. She ain't that.
Came a long way.
Yeah.
So one of the I'm in the process of finishing up my book, Pearls of Intimacy.
Yes.
It'll be released soon. One of the biggest things that married people kind of push to the side, whether it be for kids, be for job, be for just life itself, is sex. Mm-hmm. So why? One of the question is, why was sex even created?
To procreate.
You got it. To procreate. Mm-hmm. Right? So if sex was literally created, and that's in my book, sex was created to procreate. You hit it on the head. Right? So
right on. Come on.
So if sex was created to procreate, why does that is one of the first things that suffer in a marriage?
I don't know.
It could be
a number of things.
It can be many. Well, I ain't gonna say many factors, but it can be some factors. I think kids, especially, usually always change the dynamics. You know, so I tell like couples if they haven't had kids yet, and I'll be like, when you do have children, it will change. That doesn't mean it's a bad change. You know, it just changes dynamics, and you have to learn to sometimes as couples, when you become parents, now all your energy is now being focused on now it's the child. It's all about your child. You as a parent raising your children, and we get lost in that. And I think we get caught up in that, and then we forget about each other. You know, and that's something me and her, especially having 4 children, we try to really pay attention to, especially me, because sometimes I let her. Now, I guess we've been together so long, I just say it like, hey, man, you know, like, it's been a minute. Because one thing about men, we don't forget the last time we had sex. And I can say that. We never forget. You know, so if a man told you,
it's been one time this month, what's the problem?
If your husband said, we haven't had sex in such and such day or
it's
3
the
weeks,
truth.
It's the truth. Because that's one thing we will not forget is the last time we had sex.
Yes.
So so I think that's what children I know definitely could
create a barrier.
Yeah, could create a barrier in that. Then if you're like, and then too, if you're like, one of those moms can be guilty of this sometimes. You want to have the baby sleeping with you, or have your kids in the bed. You don't have. I recommend no kids in bed unless you don't have a choice to have your kids in the bed. You know, but don't do that. If your child if they have their own room, don't have them sleeping in the bed with you. Nip that in the bud now. Because then they'll be 7, 8 years old and they still sleeping in the bed. And it's your bed. You're like, as a married couple, I look at it, y'all bed is y'all time. That's y'all intimacy. That's y'all whole. So kids shouldn't be allowed to be. You shouldn't allow your kids to be sleeping in the bed by choice, not by choice. You know, so that's one example, I guess.
So what would you guys say the difference is between sex and intimacy?
I think intimacy is like that connection.
I knew the women was going to answer.
That's
intimacy is like that connection, like that, just like even touching, like in the car, like I reached out for his hand and we were holding hands in the car, just out of like, you know, that touch, that, you know, kissing and hugging and just being close and even having those heart-to-heart talks. That is intimacy right there.
Yeah, we have a lot of those. A lot of those.
Yeah.
Just chill moments, and we just, we have a lot of those. Those are cool.
Now he's saying the sex now. That's intercourse. That deals with a lot of touching as well. And you know, I say what the intimacy should allow that to build, and I can't do that. Whew. This is not the ladies' chat. Yeah. Say
words, Jackie.
I'm trying the best way. Tryla, the talk we had earlier.
Trying to do it in the most PG.
Yes, the PG.
Marriage is not PG.
Okay, then fine. Look, how about this? You want to have sex? How about this? You set it up. You get your honey. You get your fruit. You get everything you need and have a picnic. Maybe you want to pour your chocolate on your wife or husband or whatever it is. It's just to the simple point of this. That intercourse is having that release. The release of the stomach. The release of build-up. Y'all look.
What's the question? Intimacy or sex?
You said both. She did intimacy and I'm doing sex. So you got action on both ends. It's just, hey, what you gonna do with it? You can get where you gonna give it up at. You're married. It all depends on your destination, where you end up, and your privacy level.
Because I know when you have children,
yeah,
especially if you have little children like we do, you have to get creative.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying.
You're right, brother.
So you gotta make time. Like, literally make time.
Yeah, exactly. Mating time.
Because those children, for those of you who have children, you know what happens with kids. Yeah. So you have to make time. If you have to schedule time, if you have to be like, okay, they cool, they watching a movie. Hurry, we got such and such amount of time.
About 30 minutes.
I mean, it's real life. Yeah, it's real life.
It is.
You gotta make time. It's important.
You have to. That's very, very important to connect with your spouse and to keep that connection and that intimacy.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, again, open up a gateway for someone to slither in and cause a distraction and a disruption.
Y'all want to keep each other full.
Yes. Yes.
It's like you gotta learn each other's love language, and so that's most important as well.
Yeah, that is.
So really quick, one of the other thing is that only one person cannot be the only one being satisfied doing sex or intercourse.
I think if both couples, when you're having intercourse with your spouse, if y'all both putting your energy towards satisfying each other,
because sex is about energy and vibrations.
Yeah,
that's how you become one.
Spirituality really is intertwined. Two energies coming together,
becoming one.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it's true. It's true. You do have to both put in energy into that and makes it more fun.
And don't do it because you feel obligated.
Yeah,
that is the worst sex ever.
Don't make it out of obligation.
Yeah, because that's not fun.
There'll be some times where you don't feel like it every single time. Yes, and you will, in a sense, take one for the team, you know. But
take one for the team.
Because I mean that's true. That's true. Because
it happens. I mean, that's
especially women out there, women who are moms, and you're working and you're doing. A lot of times you're tired. You're very, very tired, and you're just like, oh shoot, like I need to get some energy, like because in my heart I want to, but I'm tired. But it's just like, okay, you know what? We need to. So let me just figure out a way to get energized and get to it. Real life.
And if you really look at it from an energy perspective, if you put in two energies through intercourse and intimacy, it really should not exhaust you.
No, you should get a boost. You should get a boost after that.
You go to new heights.
You said go to new heights.
I mean, that's real though.
Yeah, that is very true. You should get a boost. You should be like, all right, I'm good. Like, what you want to do now?
But a lot of marriages are deprived of sexual intercourse.
Yes, very
right? The word deprive in the Greek is austerio, which means to properly keep away from someone, defrauding, depriving, to cheat, taking away what rightfully belongs to someone else. So if you married, your body now belongs to him, his body now belongs to you, and regardless of how you feel at that moment, if he or she wants to have sexual intercourse, hey, I want what's rightfully mine. Give me the keys back.
I can't.
I know you've been mad, but give me the keys back. No more clink clink. No more locking it down because you're angry. Because I'm being deprived right now.
Yeah, I
hope
there isn't wives that are still doing that. You know, like, you'll cut off sex from your husband.
Yeah, because they mad.
Like, don't do that. I hope your husband divorced you doing that.
Hubs. See? But yeah, ladies, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So watch how deprived it is. I looked at WebMD, and this is straight from my book. Watch how many people are deprived. Straight from my book. WebMD said people from the ages 18 to 29, married people have sex 120 times a year, or a little over twice a week. Ages 30 to 39 have sex 86 times a year, about 7 times a month. Between ages 50 to 59, they have sex 69 times a year, a little over 6 times a month. So where does your marriage fall in that platform?
We see, okay, when that whole I immediately started thinking about when you were saying the older, because we always talk about that. Like, as we get older, like, we still want to be spicy and still want each other and still want to
embarrassing your kids.
Yeah, and want to do that. That's one reason why we work out the way we work out, because we're like, we still want to be active as we age and still be affectionate, because we're super affectionate with each other. Like, where our kids are like, are you serious? And we're like, that's how we are. That's how we're, and we're probably gonna embarrass you as you get older. We don't care because y'all appreciate that later. Yeah. But yeah, that stood out to me. Like, as you get older, I don't ever want that to decrease. Like,
but how do you keep that going? And really, if you look at it again, 30 to 39, they were doing it 7 times a month. 50 to 59, they're doing it 6 times a month. Just one intercourse away.
That's a lot.
So as they got older, they was like, I ain't stopping.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But how do you keep that going?
How do you keep that spice going? And we talk about fire, we talk about spice, but in reality, it's how do you keep that intimacy going? Because as you get older, it becomes not so much about sex, but more about what you were talking about earlier. The conversations, the stuff like that. That's where that builds the relationship and keeps it stronger. Because eventually, we're not Abraham no more. We ain't having kids at the age of 80.
Right.
So Viagra got people having heart attacks at 90 years old, still trying to keep up. So how do you keep that intimacy going?
As far as the Viagra part, you gotta get your health together.
That's it.
You got your health in order.
You ain't got to worry about Viagra. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, I swear you
won't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about Viagra.
Yeah, eat clean.
Eat clean. You won't.
Yeah. But yeah, and keeping that. Yeah, so healthy, maintaining your health.
No, all jokes aside.
Yeah.
Being healthy, though, like eating clean and having a healthy diet, it does. It'll have your, everything working, functioning properly. Women's libidos and men's will be higher. But if you have like a bad diet, your hormones tend to be off, and so a lot of that's your diet too. When people do have those kind of like low libidos, or men don't need Viagra as they get older in age, and it is, so that's true. I'm not saying that as a joke, but it is true.
And I think how do you keep that going too is working towards keeping that connection. So keeping your routine of having like your date nights, keeping your routine of having vacations together.
Yes. Yeah, those things. Those alone times that you Spending time alone together. Make sure you have those.
Maintaining that friendship.
That
really strong friendship. What thing I can say is we're friends. Like we have fun together.
Yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah, we're funny.
Yeah.
You know, we make each other laugh.
Yes,
We do though. Like, so I'm like, oh, that was funny. Like, you know, or he'll, do something like imitate people. Like he's a comedian. So yes, it's keeping that connection and remaining friends and not, drifting apart. And if you find yourself drifting apart, you like, okay, something's going on. We gotta
try to catch it.
We gotta catch this and get back.
Get back. Yeah. So
get this
all
back
what
quick.
you said, is important. Yeah, those date nights.
Not only that, I can add some more to that. Play games. Don't be afraid to walk into these stores and pick you up a game. Don't care how old you are. Play a game. Go on vacation. To try a new challenge and see your mate light up. Like what was it? Like we went to Florida and we rode a scooter. I have never rode a scooter. I can ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Happy as ever. And it, he kept turning around like, go ahead, go in front. What's good? And it's like you being a big kid all over again.
Yes, that is fun to just be silly and have fun.
Have fun together.
Yeah. So just think about it. You're 60 years old. You gonna do that? Or you gonna jet ski, parasail?
Parasail won't happen for me.
I can't get him parasail.
Deep sea fishing.
But yeah, just being adventurous.
That was for her, man. Like I was just like,
you did it.
We getting ready to do this.
Yeah.
I can't let her go by herself, man. Like I had to go get it. I'm like, there we go.
Yeah. But that'd be like you. Like I don't think you would. Would you ever scuba dive?
I might try.
I would do that.
I might try it. I might try it because I am into trying and being adventurous and like what, just like when we did. What?
Oh, you laughing? She does. She wants to be. It's like she's. The ambition is there.
Yeah.
She wants to be. It's a challenge though.
Yeah.
Like snorkeling. When we was on our honeymoon, we went to. She was harassing me about kayaking, harassing me every day. I want to go kayaking. I'm like, I don't want to do that. She harassed me. I said, fine, we're gonna do kayaking. We get out there. We out there. What was he out there? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She got scared. She saw that little because they had barracudas too. So they popping. She seen them barracudas hopping out of the water. Yeah. She was like, oh, we're too far. We're too far. I'm like. That guy was like, you guys back already? I'm like, yeah. Jamaica, we was snorkeling.
Yeah. I did good.
She did good. Took her a minute.
I did good.
Took her a minute to get in the water.
It.
I said, you getting in? What you gonna do? She was like, yeah, just. She sat there took about 20 minutes. She finally got in there. She figured out how to breathe. And we went on a little adventure, but.
Yeah.
So she tries. I'll give her that. Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
Just anything with heights. Zip lining, you probably won't get me to do. And what was it? Parasailing.
Yeah, anything with heights.
Peace. That's
once you get up there,
is so high.
But once you get up there, it's like everything is still.
It is because I went. My sister-in-law and I went. Shout out to Katie Usher. We parasailed together. It was a little like the wind. Hold on, wait. But it was peaceful, and you're just like, wow. Yeah. Like I'm just kind of floating, and it's so. Doing fun things like that, being adventurous, those are things you have to do with your spouse to keep it fun and keep it entertaining. Because I love to see him laugh, and I love to see him have fun. When he's laughing at something, it makes me laugh, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at? Because you're laughing so hard." I want to I want to know. Yeah, I want to know. Like what? Because I just love to see that smile and to see him laugh. It gives me joy. Yeah, it does to see him happy.
Ruth Ann Williams Adams said, "Send your spouse a date invite through the mail."
Oh, that's my
like
hey,
that.
Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea. She mentioned that
idea.
To me before. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, very good idea. Thanks, Ruth. Yes, that's clever. Mm-hmm. Or even too, meeting up separately.
Hold on. Or drop little notes. Send him on a little travel.
Yeah, scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. There you go.
Yeah.
Meet me at this such and such place. You may get a phone call because you ain't there. You done set him all up. Or her. Mm-hmm. Go to the next spot. Okay. Hey, dude, have you seen a little lady look like this?
Yeah.
He may be a little but it'd be little things that, okay, this is a reminder of when we first got married. Oh. This is when we went on this vacation. Oh my God, you can rekindle that.
Yes, that is true.
That's true, yeah.
That's very true. Those are great ideas. Yep, those are very great ideas. I'm taking notes. People out there, take notes. Yeah, we have to start incorporating more of those things, more fun things. Because it can get very routine. Yeah. And you have to think okay, it's been a little routine. We gotta switch this up. We gotta,
do something.
Yeah, change it up a bit. Yeah.
Yep. Or do something exciting.
Yeah.
Do something adventurous.
I got another one for you.
What you got?
Say nobody got the kids. And you just somebody.
Ain't nobody got the kids.
Nobody got the kids, and you got.
Somebody got the kids.
Look here. Somebody got the kids. But there's a dare or double dare, and y'all just take off driving. It's adventurous. It's fun. When you end up at your location, whatever you got in your pocket, you stay at a hotel and you have fun. And whatever city you end up in, we did it. It was fun. Just where we? Okay. Do we? Make sure you always got a bag packed somewhere in the car because you never know with your husband what's gonna end up happening.
Yeah. And see, me, like I said, I'm working on letting go and stop being in control because I'm like, where are we going? What am I supposed to pack? Okay, now where are we going? Why are we going this way? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy. But no, like I said, I'm working on.
That's why one of the last times we went to Florida, she didn't know about the trip till like 2 days before. What am I gonna pack? I'm not about it. Everything's already in the suitcase.
No, that was a whole setup. They said that was a setup.
But I bet it was fun though.
It was fun. They made me cry at the airport.
Aww.
That's how it was a setup.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was. Just got to the hotel beautiful. And then we didn't even know. Sitting there waiting for our room, the bartender she done set us up. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
That's sweet. Oh, that's very sweet.
Yes, it's so touching to your heart.
That's very sweet. So yes, being adventurous, doing things like that.
He said, lock the door.
Lock the door.
Gotta lock the door.
Yeah. I can't.
Don't want to scare your children.
Don't scar for life.
Yeah, scar for life, So,
Baby, are you okay? I'm okay.
I'm good.
Why did you call Daddy an Emmer Afro last night?
What?
You were yelling and screaming. I told my teacher. And my dad beats my mom.
And it didn't even like that. That is so funny.
But wait, there was a movie. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? It was a movie. And what movie was that?
And the kid said something.
Yes.
That's funny. Yes, lock the door, people. For people that have a toddler, like how we do. Lock that door. Lock it.
There comes
no problems.
No problems. No problem.
Everyone, please remember to like and share this show and keep the comments. And if you have any questions, we love questions.
Yep.
So how do you make it through difficult times in marriage?
Prayer.
Where let's say, okay, for instance, you're a makeup artist. You've launched your new business. You're doing great things.
Yeah.
I believe that at some point where if the spouse doesn't support those dreams, you kind of have difficult moments in a marriage. Because now the spouse that has the drive, that has the ambition, now they feel like now I'm dying inside because my other half ain't here with me. They're not pushing with me. I feel alone. How do you make it through difficult times where you just feel alone in a marriage?
Well, like Jackie said, I heard her say, you have to pray. And I would say, I mean, y'all gotta talk that out. You have to come out and say, listen, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling because I feel alone. I'm struggling because I don't feel support from you. I'm struggling. So that is messing with my confidence. That's messing with my self-esteem. That's messing with how I'm starting to feel towards you. And then also too, find another successful married couple that I think that could mentor you or that could counsel you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Help you out through
that could encourage you, that could pray for you through that.
Therapy.
Yes, or a professional therapist. Yes, I'm all for that. I always tell people, if you feel like you need to talk to someone. No, there shouldn't be a stigma with that. I know sometimes there is, or people have that prideful, that ego where they're like, I don't need to talk to nobody. Yeah, you do.
I don't need to go.
And it's okay. Because sometimes other people have skills or they've been through that, so they can help you navigate through that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I hope you see it from a different perspective.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because, like, we said before, marriage it's work, and you have to, and it's peaks and valleys. And when you're sometimes going through the valley, it's dark in that valley. And you need someone that can help you navigate through. So, you got to pray. You got to call on God. You have to, and ask for help. Ask for help. Like, it's okay to say, we're not good right now. I need some help. And just like when you said about if you do have ambition and your spouse maybe is lacking in that, or they're not supporting you, y'all got to talk about that. Cause
y'all do. Yep.
You have to. Because if I didn't have his support with everything that I do, it would be very, very, very hard. And I would not feel like a whole person. I would feel some type of way.
Missing something.
I would, yes.
And that's why you hear like people like even most recently, country. What is that boy's name? Country Wayne left his wife of how many years, and now he's with this other woman. And it was because she was not fulfilling him and supporting him in his dream. He's like, I done did all this. I done worked hard to get here, and you still not gonna push with me. So I need to get somebody that's gonna push with me, right? Really quick, guys, the reason why you see the Cash App at the bottom of your screen is because Pearls Productions is launching a performing arts and film school right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're looking to launch this in the summer of 2019. So we can catch the kids right when they get out of school. So if you feel led to, please make a donation. A small donation of $20 would be great. It's going to go strictly to the film school, the performing arts school. We are having a fundraiser next Friday. That's our logo. Logo looks nice up there.
It does.
The school is called Cadenza Performing Arts and Film School. We're going to teach film. We're going to teach the production, the arts, and the writing, all that good stuff for the kids. So you want to give them something creative to do. And we're going to have a dinner sale next Friday. It's on the screen for you. We have fish for those who don't eat meat. We have rib tips, of course. I make the greatest fish. I make the greatest rib tips. My lovely wife here is going to make the sides.
Come on, y'all.
You ain't had her greens. You was missing out. You ain't had her yams. Diabetic. You really missing out.
Please have your insulin.
So we got chicken wings, or we got fish, or we got rib tips. So again, please make your order. Place your order. We're going back to the segment. What about those in-laws?
What about in-laws can be challenging, I guess. I mean, we don't have those problems, but
no.
You don't want no problems.
But like you said, it can be challenging.
Yes.
And I have great in-laws who I do love. there has been challenges, and I think that's with everybody because you are blending a family. You have two different people coming from two different worlds or two different lives merging into one. And I think it can be challenging because you can it can be like, well, this is how I did, or my mama said to do this. Well, no, my mama said to do this, or and it's just like you guys have to find your own
niche.
That
y'all do.
Your own identity.
Your own identity.
Yeah. You can't base it off. We gotta get out of this. We're gonna try to model our marriage after our parents. You know, because it's not that was them. That was them.
In that generation in time.
Yeah. Like we're different. This is us. Right. So, I think that, and then too, I think if there is an issue, like we see this a lot, even if like we're watching a reality show or something like that. But when there's friction between one of the spouse and the mom or the parent, or say your wife has friction with your mother, as you as a husband, it's tough to be in the middle of that conflict because it's like, oh, this is my mother, this is my wife. But you as the husband, and vice versa, wives, if this is ever occurring in your marriage, it's up to you to sit down with your mother, or you have to really control that, and be like, look, you know, if your mother's out of control, you gotta let your mother know. If your wife's out of control, y'all gotta come to an agreement and a compromise with that. Don't let that just keep, because you're just gonna be stuck in the middle, and your wife gonna be mad at you, and you really don't want your wife mad at you. You can handle your mother being mad at you, that's your mother, but your wife comes first. So you gotta, if it's your mother is acting up and would be disrespectful to your wife, you have to check your mother. You're like, look, this is my wife. You're not gonna disrespect my wife, and you have to respect her. So just for any couples out there who may be dealing with that type of in-laws, we've never done that. My mother's always treated my wife great. She has, she always has. So
she really has.
I've just seen that. I know that's out there. Couples deal with that.
Not saying we've never ever had conflict but it hasn't been anything crazy. I will say, in the beginning when we were first married, I feel like we struggled with trying to maintain we've talked about it. I think you've kind of struggled with maintaining a balance with, this is my family, but now this is my wife, and I would be like, but your wife and your family comes first. So if your family calls and says, we need you to do this, but if we have something already planned, it's okay to tell them no, or I can't do that right now. And that's something that we struggled with, because I know you don't want to let anybody down, and it would be hard. It's very hard for you to say no to anybody.
Especially my family.
Especially your family.
$5 million credit.
I got it. Like, here you go.
And so that was something that we would struggle with, because I'm like, you can't do that. It's not like you. It's okay to say no. It just is what it is, and it's not like you're saying it to be mean, or you're saying it, but it's just like you can't put me and the children on the back burner for anybody else. And so that's what we had to work through. He and I have worked through that.
She would. And that was hard for me to take in from her, because I'm just like, I'm like, I just struggled trying to balance it. And really, at the end of the day, I just had to be like, I gotta say no. It's okay, and because I'm like that. I'm loyal. So anyone who knows me, I'm loyal to you. Friendship, family, whatever. So that's just how I am. So it was a struggle, with that for me. Then we finally, I finally just came around. Like, okay, let me, she's right. At the end of the day, she's right.
She's right. Pick it up.
And I'm gonna say this on the spiritual side, like for us, learning the difference in who you really are, and then you know somebody is supposed to be a pastor at a young age, and you know he starts seeing stuff, y'all have a sit down and be like, look, this is what I see, and this is we had an agreement that we would never do what our parents did or doing, and when we came to that agreement, we seen a difference in how our parents, you know, a lot of parents go in a cycle. We said we'll never do that ever, and we haven't, and we still won't. It's just recognizing it and working on it and saying, hey, this ain't cool. That communication has to be solid, even when the in-laws are acting up.
And I think too, not involving your family.
Yes.
In your
don't tell your like, don't have those discussions.
Yeah.
Like if whatever issues you and your spouse are having, don't go to your family with that and be venting to them about it, because they're gonna choose. You're gonna force them. Of course, they're always gonna pick your side, but you don't want them to start looking at your spouse a certain way, unless they're like verbally abusing you or something.
Yeah, if it's
abuse. But if it's just y'all going through a difficult time, y'all just not on the same page about things. Yeah, don't try to find somebody else to vent to. Don't vent to your mother or your, your. I just don't. I don't think you should do that, because
and that's one thing. Like, his mom and my aunt both, and my grandmother when she was still living, would say, "Don't come to me." That's between y'all, and it really is. That's true, because that's how you keep your mess or whatever it is contained between you two, and you don't, like you said, unless it's something extreme where they need to be involved. Because I'm all for that. I'm all like, don't nobody need it. This ain't nobody's, concern, for everybody to be involved in. But yes, keep it contained to the two of you, because then at the end of the day, when you guys make up with whatever it is, or get through whatever it is that you're getting through, you don't have to listen to any outside influence, because sometimes outside influence, it's too much. Yeah. It's like, it's just too much. And like when you were saying, Jackie, about the two of you, and how you said you would not have your relationship be a certain way, and things like that, I think that's good to have your own dynamic, and to have your relationship the way you want to, and your family the way you want to. Because he and I came from two different, like, he grew up with both parents and a sibling. I was raised by a grandmother, aunt, had a cousin at home. Like, it wasn't a traditional nuclear family like how he had. So of course we view things or see things differently in some ways, because I'm like, well, I didn't have that.
I ain't used to that.
I'm not used to that.
Right.
And it's okay for certain, just like, his family got together every Sunday or every weekend to hang out.
Growing up,
my family didn't do that. I don't need to hang out every weekend. It's not that I don't. And it's not that I don't love my family and want to hang out. I'm the type. I don't need to hang out every weekend like that.
Yeah, because we would do it now as adults. Like, it's my mother, my brother, the three of us. So we kept that going even after my father passed. We would always still get together. So then when we're all married, and I'd be like, "Come on, Mama, cooking," da da da. She'd be like, "We don't have to go there every Sunday," and I'd be like, "Why not?"
Of course, when I'm there, it's fine. I'm having a good time. But sometimes I'm just like, I just want to relax and stay at home. But I'm like that with my own family. My own family and my home. We don't have to hang out all the time. Like, when I see you, I have a great time. I love you, and then I can see you in a couple weeks. Like that, but that's just how I am. I don't mean no harm.
But I will say this: family gatherings have taken a back seat, just in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would kind of encourage people that if you still have mothers living, fathers living, grandparents living, that you take that time and you spend with them. Because next day may not be promised.
That's very true.
2 weeks may not be promised. Next month may not be promised, right? So, our parents are getting up there in age. When they get up there in age, they're like, they know their time is limited. I want to spend as much time as I can. I tell her all the time, like, my mom and daddy not gonna be here too much longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daddy almost 70, right? So it's like I got to make that time to be around them as much as possible, but not to a point of sacrificial to my marriage.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sacrificial to your marriage and your family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had to learn, and I remember I came to you about that too, and I was like, you know what, I have to realize that we grew up differently, and that's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
it's okay.
And I think when y'all realize that, it does make things better. Because now you're aware of it. You're like, okay, like she didn't grow up like how I grew up.
Right.
You know, we grew up totally different. You know, so it was when I realized that it changed. You know, and I was like, okay, I get it now. You know, and yeah. Made things better, I guess, you know, but it was things that,
Yeah.
you know, so I was like, okay, you know, she, you know, it's fine if she don't always, every Sunday, we don't always have to get together as family, because it was with and it was really my dad's side. It was like a rotation, you know, between his two sisters. It would either be at my house or on his sister's house. I'm talking all year round. That's how it was. Every Sunday, that's where we at, and it was just because we were all close, and he had a close relationship with all his siblings.
Right.
So.
And I guess with me, because I didn't have that dynamic, that I like to sometimes do things just us and our family. Like I like to create memories with my, like, you know, let's me, you and the kids go do something, or, you know, so I try to create that within our family, but still have a great time when we do all get together, because it ends up being fun, and we laugh and we joke, and you know, so we do. We have a good time. Yeah. So I'd like to, I guess, keep that balance. Keep a balance.
Everything's about balance.
It's all about balance.
And again, a lot of women are not as strong as you two to walk into a marriage where the man has mother and father. You know, where the woman may not have had the father around, right? So now she's looking at the relationship between you and your mother, and why you always with your mother, and not really able to accept that because they didn't ever have that.
Right.
So a lot of marriages right now are suffering because the son is always doing stuff for his parents. So a lot of people can't come to that consensus to say, hey, we just grew up differently. So now I want to kind of keep you in a bubble because I want to love you so much, as she says, to death. Right?
I don't say that no more.
Right?
I don't say that no more.
I want to love you so much that I want to keep you all to myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to box you in. I'm going to, and at that point, you're making his life miserable.
Yeah, because that's not fair.
Because you're taking away what raised him and made him the man that you fell in love with.
Yeah, that's not fair. So that I do like that, you know, he does have, his mom does live here with us. Like, she's at our house right now with our children.
She moved
to my mom.
Yes.
She moved in?
No.
I'm just playing.
He's helping us tonight with the children. But no, that he does have a good relationship. Because if when we first met, if he didn't have a good relationship with his mom, that would be a red flag for me. I would be like,
it depends on why.
It depends on why.
It depends on why.
Yeah, that's true.
But that would be like, why? What's wrong?
Been abusive.
Yeah, it could be, you know, factors, yes. So I do appreciate that, you know, he does have a good relationship, you know, with his mom, and that she is a good person, and she's a strong person, and, you know, she has been a really great mother-in-law, mother-in-love to me and to my sister-in-law as well, because I know she would speak the same. As you know, and I can speak for my family, I think, you know, they've been great. You know,
from jump. From jump. They are. They love hard too.
Yeah.
Especially her dad's side.
Yes. Because if I go home without him, where's Brad? Where's Brad? He didn't come. Where's Brad?
Yeah.
I'm just like, but I'm here, guys.
And also, people don't. You know, just like Crystal was saying, you know, and Brad was saying, don't tell your in-laws your business. Don't go to work telling people of the opposite sex your business.
Don't do that either.
You know, because you know that's a door wide open now.
Yeah.
For you to have a work
you open the door.
Pandora's
Yeah.
box.
Come on in. Yeah.
Don't do that.
So now you start to gain emotions and feelings about somebody you work with, and you don't know why. Because now you've opened up your spirit unto them
and created an intimacy with them,
and not your spouse. You better talk
by disclosing information and getting too comfortable. Don't start getting too comfortable around people of the opposite sex. Like, don't. You got to be very, very careful. Yes,
I'm gonna tell y'all this. This book right here can help you with what she just said. I'ma look.
What's the book?
It is Marriage of Pearls. I'm just look.
Written by who?
It is written by DuJuan and Boyd.
Yes,
it's God's design of a healthy marriage. This is a blueprint, and it'll help you. If you heard or you listen to what Miss Crystal said, Miss Usher said, get this book. It'll help you.
You can get it off Amazon.com, or I prefer you just contact me directly, and I'll get you the book. And I can sign it for you because Amazon takes about $10 on every book sale. So we definitely don't want to send you to Amazon.
I didn't know that. Amazon making money.
They get it. Right.
So real quick, can I say, because I know we have to wrap up soon, so any couples who are looking to get married, who are maybe engaged or you're planning to get married, please go into the marriage with some tools. Yes. Don't just don't be so into planning the wedding that you're not planning for your marriage. Because after that party that you have, that's when it kicks in, and it's just like, and you're gonna get hit with stuff. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen.
It's life.
It's life. It's life. So go into that with some tools. Talk to some people who have some wisdom about marriage. Because when we got married, we were young. We were in our mid-20s. But one thing that I can say for sure, for me, I was very sure of what I was doing. Now, we both say, we didn't know what the heck we was doing when we got married. But I was very sure of who I was marrying. Even though I was, like I said, mid-20s. I was very, very sure of him and confident in who I was marrying. I knew that from the moment that I met him. When God said, that's going to be your husband, I called my grandmother and said, that's going to be my husband. And she said, for real? I said, yes. And 20 years later, almost 15 years of marriage later, but go into it with, go into it, seriously guys, go into it with some tools and some skills and know what you're doing. Talk to some people. Get premarital counseling. Take your time.
And if y'all haven't lived together and y'all moving in together, just know y'all don't know each other. Just say it. You really don't know a person until you move in with them and you live with them. So that can be a bit of a shock too, but it's an adjustment. Marriage is an adjustment because it's two people bringing two different lives that they grew up in. You're bringing it together, you're merging it, and you're trying to build something or create a new, life or whatever together.
And understand how the balance
is very
works.
Important. And we once you master the balance though in your relationship, it really does make it like just cruise. So that was, I think, probably our biggest struggle within our marriage, I would say, is just learning the balance, and I would always tell, because you have these rules that you kind of follow within in a marriage like that. You got the husband, he's the provider, the protector, he's a head of household, he's the leader. You as my wife, you're just a follower, and we would struggle with that, and I'll be like, really you don't walk like behind me, you walk beside me.
Walk next to me.
We're in this together. So where my weaknesses fall, you're strong at. Where your weaknesses are, I'm strong at. And this is where the balance comes in. So if it's something that I'm like not comfortable with doing, and you feel like, well, you need to do that because you're the husband, I'm like, well, I'm not. You're stronger at that. So you do it. She'll be like, and she'll do it, but I'm like, it's okay. There's no. I don't look at it as, this is your duty as a husband or as the man, and this is your duty as a wife or as the woman, and as your woman, you're supposed to obey me and you submit to me. Oh, I'm sorry, there I go again with the hand. You submit to me, et cetera, et cetera. It's about balance, man, and y'all balance each other's strengths and weaknesses within that. As far as, she's very outgoing. I'm introvert. She's an extroverted, but it works because sometimes I can pick up on things that she may not, catch right away because I'm sitting back and I'm just chilling and observing. She's more outgoing, and that was a struggle with her in the beginning of our relationship. Not even marriage, just in our relationship. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so shy? Why don't you talk? And I'm just observing. And if I'm not feeling these people,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Nothing to say. You'll see
Exactly.
why.
Yep.
And then it comes out later than this. I'm like, see, told you.
Yep.
So it's work, man. It's work in progress, and you can definitely enjoy being married. Marriage can be fun as well. It doesn't, just because it's hard. It's like parenting. I mean, it's rough, but I enjoy it. I love it.
Awesome. Well, that's our time for this week, folks. This is definitely not the last time we're going to have this discussion. We definitely going to do another show on this because it's definitely needed. I think people out there wanting it and definitely need to hear this particular discussion.
Part 2.
So we're definitely going to do a part 2. So again, listen, like, share this video.
Yes.
Again, the Cash App is there because we're launching our school for performing arts and film called Cadenza. Okay, Cadenza. So again, make those donations for the inner city kids that don't have a place to go. They don't have nothing to do. We're going to meet them in the summertime. So again, so we can keep them out of trouble, keep them out the grave, keep them from making babies. We're going to do what we have to do for these kids in the inner city.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they took performing arts away. We're bringing it back. So help us do that. Again, we're having a dinner sale next week. Reach out to us to make your dinner selections, and we'll be glad to deliver them to your door. We want to thank the Ushers for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
They'll be back by popular demand by his mama, who said,
Thank you, Miss Usher.
you guys should do a repeat of this awesome show.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks, Ma.
Yeah.
So mama said,
Yep.
We'll be back.
Let me just.
and my beautiful wife, Miss Jackie, Miss Crystal Usher, you want to take us out?
Okay. Well, we thank you again. We look forward to seeing you next Friday.
Just throw them out there.
Yes.
I told you.
Always be ready.
We look forward to seeing you guys next Friday with another edition of Pearls of Wisdom. You guys be safe this weekend. Like DuJuan Boyd always says, if you're going to drink, don't drive. Catch an Uber or Lyft. Be safe, have fun, and nurture those marriages and those relationships.
Yes.
All right.
Peace
See you
out.
next time.
Peace.